Hello everyone, welcome back to Believers Science Academy Bengaluru. This is topic of the day. In today's topic of the day, we'll discuss a very important topic, especially from UPSC Environment and Ecology, that is inclusion of cold desert as UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. Okay, so in today's video, we'll discuss what is this cold desert, where is it found, and what is its significance, and also what is this UNESCO's Biosphere Reserve program, and how many biosphere reserves are there in India, and how many are recognized by UNESCO, and how many are not recognized by UNESCO. So everything will be discussed in today's video. So sit down, watch, and write down important notes. So the topic is cold desert Biosphere Reserve UNESCO recognition. So if you see, all the newspapers are covering this. That is, cold desert is India's 13th UNESCO reserve. Spiti Valley in Himachal recognized as India's first cold desert biosphere. Spiti Valley recognized as part of UNESCO's World Network of Biosphere. Himachal's cold desert reserves becomes India's 30th UNESCO World Heritage Site. Sorry, UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. Cold desert biosphere reserve. Spiti Valley becomes India's first cold desert. Everyone, all the news outlets, all the magazines are covering this event. So that is how significant it is. So this is some of the parts of UNESCO cold desert which is present in Himachal Pradesh, and this is also part of this. So Spiti Valley, the famous Spiti Valley, which is very attractive for the people who are fond of hiking, who are fond of traveling, or who are fond of bike traveling. A very important place, a very beautiful place as well. I've been there recently, and it is a very beautiful place. You have to see it through your eyes. Okay, next we'll discuss what is the latest development. On 27 September 2025, UNESCO added Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve in Himachal Pradesh, Lahaul Spiti district to the World Network of Biosphere Reserve. Okay, so it is now India's 13th Biosphere Reserve under UNESCO, highlighting the country's ecological diversity and conservation commitment. Okay, so 13 Biosphere Reserves in India alone. Announcement was made during the 37th session of UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Council in Paris. What is this MAB? We'll discuss about that as well. Globally, 26 new reserves across 21 countries were added this year, among which one was India's. So, what is Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve? The geography and area, it covers around 7,770 square kilometers at altitudes ranging from 3,300 to 6,600 meters. Zones, obviously, all the biosphere reserves are zoned according to core, transition, buffer, and transition zone. So the core zone is around 2,665 square kilometers. Buffer is almost 4,000 kilometers, that is 3,977 square kilometers, and the transition zone is 1,128 square kilometers. And the key provinces here are Pin Valley National Park. You can see here Pin Valley National Park. It is a national park. And Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary. This is the Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary in Himachal Pradesh. And Chandratal Wetland. So Chandratal is a place in Himachal Pradesh where like people who like to travel, who like to trek through these areas. It is a very important spot as well. A very beautiful lake which is on the like uh, on the ground of Himalayas. You can see Himalayas right through the reflection as well. And then Sarachu Plains. All these are covered under this Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve. You have to remember, Biosphere Reserve is the largest one. Below this is the wildlife sanctuaries, and below this will be the national parks. So normally the national parks will be covered under the core zone of Biosphere Reserve. As I told you, in Biosphere Reserve there will be core, there will be buffer, there will be transition zone, and this core reserve or the core zone will be normally national parks. So in terms of size, Biosphere reserves are the largest, and wildlife sanctuary is the next one, and then comes national park. But in terms of protection, national park is highly protected, and then comes wildlife sanctuaries, and then comes Biosphere Reserve. Okay, so this is a basic thing you have to know. Next, biodiversity and cultural richness. Flora, that is the plant species, that is 732 vascular plant species are there, which includes 30 endemics and 47 medicinal plants vital to Sowa region or Amchi system. So, sorry, Sowa Ringpa or Amchi system. So, these medicinal plants are used in Sowa Ringpa, which is the Amchi system of medicine. So this can be part of India's very own traditional medicine as well. Normally we consider only Ayurveda as our traditional medicine or medicine, but there are various other types as well. One among them was Amchi system. And what is this 30 endemics? Endemics are those plants or those species which are found in a particular region. So these 30 endemic species of plants are found only in the cold desert. You will not find them anywhere else in the world. Okay. Next, fauna, and the important fauna here is snow leopard, which is called as flagship animal of highlands. This is the snow leopard. You can see a very beautiful, majestic animal, and it is also the state animal of Uttar Pradesh, sorry, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. And Himalayan ibex. This is the Himalayan ibex. It's a big, beautiful sheep kind of creature. And this is blue sheep, and you can see here this is the blue sheep animal. And Himalayan wolf and golden eagle. This is the golden eagle, and then Himalayan snowcock. This is the Himalayan snowcock, which is almost similar to the cocks, that is hens. Okay. Then communities, there are around 12,000 people living in scattered villages. If you visit this Spiti Valley, you will find the people very rarely. You will find the vastness of cold desert everywhere, but the people are very isolated. You will not find them everywhere. They will be found in some Spiti valleys. They will be found in India's uh, India's farthest village, you can say, that is a border village in India. After that, you will be entering into Tibet or so-called China. That is the Spiti region. You have to visit that village, a very beautiful village. So, and these people normally practice traditional pastoralism. So, pastoralism in the sense those who are herding, that is pastoral herding. So, normally what they herd is yak and goat herding. Okay, and then crops are barley and green peas, and they are deeply influenced by Tibetan Buddhist monasteries and traditional healing practices. Okay, and this traditional healing practice is one of Sawarigba. Okay, this is about cold desert and national and global significance of this cold desert. In ecological, it represents one of the coldest and driest ecosystems on the earth, meaning it is a fragile, climate sensitive zone. With the climate change increasing and global warming increasing and the temperature increasing, this region or this biosphere reserve is at the threat of extinction. Okay, so that is why this inclusion of cold desert in biosphere reserve comes as a good news, so that we can focus more on the conservation of this particular ecosystem. Cultural, significant from cultural as well, because it preserves centuries old Tibetan Buddhist traditions and sustainable resource use. And at the national level, it strengthens India's biosphere reserve network. Now 13 sites under UNESCO out of total 18 designated nationally. So India has designated 18 biosphere reserves, out of which 13 have been recognized by UNESCO. Okay, we'll discuss all these 18 will be discussed in the video, don't worry. And at the global level, it adds visibility to the Himalayan ecosystems with WNBR, that is within the WNBR. 785 reserves and 142 countries. Okay, World National Biosphere Reserves or World Biosphere Reserve Program, there are around 785 reserves and 142 countries are there, and this adds visibility to the Himalayan ecosystems. Okay, next, challenges. What are the challenges with respect to this particular cold desert? Climate change, that is as I explained you already. Glacier retreat, altered hydrology and reduced snow cover is influencing the climate there. It is posing to the biodiversity there, threat to the biodiversity there. And over tourism, that is fragile alpine zones stressed by unregulated adventure tourism. This Solang Valley, which is very close to this Spiti Valley, are all big places which are very significant from adventure tourism, where you'll be able to do zip lines, where you'll be able to do skiing, etc., etc. So, if it is regulated, if it is within limit, it is not a big problem. But the problem is it is unregulated. Like many of the agencies are there who are conducting their own programs or functions, which as a result is becoming unregulated, is becoming a burden on the local ecosystem. Then livelihood pressures such as migration, changing pastoral practices, and market dependence on other countries or other regions is adding a pressure as well. And then resource conflicts, that is balancing conservation with the local grazing and farming rights. All these things are the challenges which has to be addressed. Next, future outlook. What will be what does the future hold for cold desert? Research, that is it opens opportunities for global scientific collaboration on the high altitude ecosystem in cold deserts, which will help in increasing or bringing more collaboration around the world. And tourism, that is potential for responsible ecotourism to benefit communities without harming ecology. Then policy support strengthens India's climate action and conservation diplomacy. And community resilience, integration of traditional knowledge with the modern conservation strategies. So addition of cold desert into biosphere reserves adds all these opportunities for the future, which is a good sign. Next, before we study this list of 18 biosphere reserve, let us understand what does this UNESCO biosphere reserve means actually. So what is a biosphere reserve? A biosphere reserve is a designated area which aims to conserve biodiversity, promote research, and support sustainable development while involving the local communities. You don't see these aspects in national park. Okay, in national park, the significance of national park major significance of national park is with respect to conservation of biodiversity, and there is very less scope for this researching. There is very less scope for sustainable development local people, but in the biodiversity reserves or biosphere reserves, there is a significance given for local communities as well as research and development. The concept was launched by UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Reserve Program 1971. UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve Program, Biosphere Program, that is famously called as MAB Reserve Program 1971. So, what is this MAB program? As I told you, launched in 1971, is an intergovernmental scientific initiative under the UNESCO. As usual, main aim is to establish a scientific basis for improving relationship between people and their environments. This integrates natural sciences, social sciences, economics, and education to promote sustainable development that is socially and culturally appropriate while safeguarding the ecosystem. That is why it is based on the principles of core, buffer, and transition, wherein the core focus will be given on the biodiversity conservation, and in the buffer focus will be given on the cultural aspects or the local period, local people, and in the transition which focuses on sustainable development. Okay. Next, okay, again, structure of a biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserve has a three-zone system. One is the core zone, which is strictly protected, undistributed natural ecosystems here. Sorry, undisturbed natural ecosystem here. No human activity is allowed except for some sort of research and monitoring. And usually, this core zone is where you will find national parks. Okay, in this particular case, you will find national parks such as Pin Valley National Park in Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve. Cold Biosphere Reserve. Okay. And what is the buffer zone? It surrounds the core. Activities allowed here are limited tourism is allowed, and for education purposes, entrance is allowed, research is allowed, and eco restoration is allowed here. Next is the transition zone, which connects a biosphere reserve to the outer normal zones. That is, okay, outlines or outer lands. Okay, outer lands. It transition, that is, it is the outermost part where sustainable economic and human activities are permitted. Normally the settlements are found in these areas. Human settlements are found in these areas. So human activities such as agriculture, settlements, and ecotourism are found in this particular area. Okay, this is core buffer transition zone. The objectives of MAB program is conservation, that is protecting the genetic diversity of species, landscapes, and ecosystem. This genetic diversity is very important if you want to conserve a species, because the higher the diversity, genetic diversity should be always high. If diversity is high, then sustainability or survival rates is very high. Okay, survival rates is very high. Diversity is directly proportional to survival rates. I'll give an example of Asiatic lions. Where are these found in India? They are only found in India. Okay, that is first thing you have to remember. They are found in Gir National Park, Gujarat. What is happening in Gir National Park, Gujarat? They have been inbred. They have been inbred, meaning they have been mated between their cousins and etc. etc. As a result, their genetic diversity is very low. When their genetic diversity is very low, in case unfortunately there is any genes which are lethal or semi-lethal or sublethal, okay, if these genes are expressed, it will lead to extinction of lions. Okay, it will lead to extinction. It is not going to affect only some sort of lions, it is going to affect all the lions, because their diversity or genetic diversity is very similar. Genetic diversity is very less, they are very similar. Now in case if these are spread across various regions, then the diversity will be very high. Diversity will be very high. In case there is a lethal or sublethal gene which is expressed here, it is going to affect only those lions or only those species which share a common genetic diversity, because they are dispersed so long, they are dispersed in large areas. Then the lethal or sublethal expression of diseases or any genes, it is not going to have impact on all the lions or all the species. So that is why one of the major reason behind lion translocation program in India is to increase this diversity. Okay, So these Asiatic lions from this Gir National Park are being forced, not forced, are being translocated into the Palpur Kono National Park. Palpur Kono National Park. Where is it? It is in Madhya Pradesh. This national park is also famous for one more thing. That is, this was where the cheetah were introduced from Namibia, because this national park has a savanna kind of ecosystem. This is where normally the cheetahs and the lions and such kind of predators are normally involved, such as grasslands. The tigers are jungle animals, so they can be found all throughout India. But the leopards, not the leopards, but the cheetahs and the lions are grassland ecosystem animals. So that is why they are being translocated into Palpur Kono National Park as well. So this is why genetic diversity is very important. So if the core region is protected, the genetic diversity is preserved, and genetic diversity is also expanded. And then development encourages sustainable use of resources by the local communities. Okay, and then logistics supports research, monitoring, education, and preserving of traditional knowledge systems. So this particular man animal project has lots of advantages which come for concur from this particular program. Next, the global context. Biosphere reserves are part of world network of biosphere reserves, and they act as living laboratories for testing climate resilience, conservation, and sustainable practices. So now this is what the significance of national parks or MEVs. In the Indian context, India established first biosphere reserve in Nilgiri in 1986. As of 2025, India has 18 biosphere reserves in the national list, and 13 of them are part of UNESCO's world network of biosphere reserve, of which the latest one was Cold Desert from Himachal Pradesh. So, forget about this map. We'll discuss about all these biosphere reserves in India now. So, what are the list of 18 biosphere reserves in India? First one is the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, because it was the first one introduced into National UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve Program or MEV program. It is present in the Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. Okay, this Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is on the confluence of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. So this is the confluence of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. It is rich in shola forest and grasslands, and endangered species are Nilgiri tar, lion-tailed macaque. And the national parks here you can find is Nagarhole National Park, Mukurti National Park, Bandipur National Park, Wayanad National Park. All these are part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Okay, and then Nanda Dev Biosphere Reserve, which is present in Uttarakhand. These are all first 13. I'll be discussing on all the national parks, sorry, all the biosphere reserves which are recognized by UNESCO, and then we'll discuss all the 5 which are not part of UNESCO as well. So, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. It is a high altitude Himalayan ecosystem. It is present in Uttarakhand. Okay, do not confuse with Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Nanda Devi is in Uttarakhand. This cold desert is in Himachal Pradesh. This includes Nanda Devi and the famous, world famous Valley of Flowers National Park, which is a World Heritage Site as well. UNESCO World Heritage Site. World Heritage Site in the national natural level. Okay, in the natural list. Okay, in the world data set there are natural, cultural, and mixed. So in the natural reserves, this Nanda Dev National Park, sorry, Valley of Flower is also part of natural. And in the cultural, for you can talk about Hampi. Hampi is an example of culture, and in the mixed you can talk about Kanchenjunga. Okay, so Kanchenjunga. Okay, next, Nokrek and the species found here are snow leopard, Himalayan musk deer, and Nokrek Biosphere Reserve present in Meghalaya, UNESCO. Garo Hills, most important gel pool of citrus fruits here. So Garo Hills is part of Nokrek Biosphere Reserve, and the species found here are red panda and Asian elephant. Red panda is very significant because it is found only in these areas plus China. You will not find them anywhere except China and India. Okay. Next, Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve in Tamil Nadu, again part of UNESCO. This is a marine biosphere reserve with the 21 islands. It is part of, if this is India and this is Sri Lanka, and this particular park state, this particular surrounding region is part of Munnar Biosphere National Park or Munnar Biosphere Reserves. Okay. Next, rich coral reefs, dugongs. Dugongs are the sea cows. And Sundarbans Biosphere Reserve, UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is also UNESCO World Heritage Site along with being Biosphere Reserve. It is also Tiger Reserve. It is also National Park. It is also Community Group. So this is a very significant, natural heritage site in India. It is the largest mangrove forest in the world. Royal Bengal tiger habitat, UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. This is found by the confluence of Brahmaputra and Ganga. This is the delta formed by Brahmaputra and Ganga rivers confluence. Simlipal Biosphere Reserve present in Odisha. It is famous for sal forest and orchids, and the important species are tiger and elephant. And one of the key aspect of Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is you will find black tigers here. Black tigers. That is nothing but a mutation of a tiger. Okay, where only the black genes of or the black color of tiger is highlighted while the stripes are hidden. Next, Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve, which is present in Andaman Nicobar Islands. It is also part of UNESCO, and significant forest is tropical evergreen forest, and it is famous for endemic species such as Nicobar megapod, and saltwater crocodile. Next is Panchmaki or Panchamari Biosphere Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, and it is present in Satpura ranges, and the species are tiger, gaur, and flying squirrel. And then Achanakmar Amarkantak Biosphere Reserve, which is part of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. This is Madhya Pradesh and this is Chhattisgarh. It is present in this particular region. Origin of Narmada and Son rivers, which has a kind of radial drainage system which is coming from our Amarkantak plateau. Mixed forest, tigers, leopards, and lots of falls, etc., found in this particular region. And then Kanchenjunga Biosphere Reserve in Sikkim, it is part of UNESCO as well. This includes Mount Kanchenjunga. What is this Mount Kanchenjunga? It is the third highest peak in the world. First is Everest, second is the K2 or Goodwin Austen. After that, it is Kanchenjunga. Then the species are snow leopard, red panda, and the sacred landscapes of Lepcha community. Very important. The cultural aspect of this biosphere reserve is Lepcha community. And then Agastyamalai Biosphere Reserve, which is present in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, again part of UNESCO. Western Ghats Biodiversity Hotspot, and very famous for endemic medicinal plants which are used in Ayurveda. Okay, and the species are Nilgiri-tar, lion-tailed macaque. This Nilgiri-tar is the state animal of Tamil Nadu. State animal of Tamil Nadu. And then Panna Biosphere Reserve, again from Madhya Pradesh again. So it is a Vindhyan landscape and mainly bypassed by Ken River and known for successful tiger reintroduction. Panna type Biosphere Reserve. And then Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve, the latest one, Himachal Pradesh. Trans-Himalayan ecosystem, Lahaul, Spiti are the major regions or districts. Species are snow leopard, Himalayan ibex, and golden eagle, etc. And Tibetan Buddhist cultural heritage. So these are 13 biosphere reserves which are recognized by UNESCO. Now the 5 reserves which are not recognized by UNESCO. One is Dibru Saikawar in a Biosphere Reserve present in Assam. It is part of Brahmaputra floodplains, and the species are feral horses, white-winged wood duck. Next is Manas Biosphere Reserve of Assam, part of Manas National Park, which is also a World Heritage Site. Manas Biosphere Reserve is also part of World Heritage Site. And famous species are golden langur, pygmy hog. Also, you will find rhinoceroses. Also, you will find tiger, elephant, etc., etc. And then Dihang and Dibang Biosphere Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh, part of Eastern Himalayas or Mishmi Hills, and species are Mishmi Takini and red panda. Okay, and Kutch or Run of Kutch Biosphere Reserve, which is present in Gujarat. It is also not part of UNESCO. It is India's largest biosphere reserve. Very important point. The very important from Prince perspective. India's largest biosphere reserve is Run of Kutch. Okay, around 12,500 square kilometers. And the species are Indian wild ass, which is also called as Kur, which is many believe it to be the fastest land animal in India, not around the world. In the world, it will be cheetah. But ever since cheetah has been reintroduced in India, now cheetah has taken its place. So Kur is no longer the largest or the fastest land animal in India. Then Seshachalam Fields in Andhra Pradesh, part of Eastern Ghats, famous for red sandas. You can see these red sandas in Pushpa movie, and it is an endangered tea and rich avian diversity. And also, since Seshachalam is also famous for many of the temples as well. So this is the cultural aspect of this Seshachalam hill biosphere reserve. So this is today's topic where we covered holistically from the current context to the static part. Very important. Most of the questions will be asked from this particular part only. So note down important points which I told you. So with this, I'll be ending the video. If you have any doubts, you can have it in the comment box. And if you want any video to be done by me, write it in the comment box as well. And if you're new to the channel, as usual, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.